time for the ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Nice to have you here. We're live at Tiebreakers. Patrick Johnson along with Philip Pilkington. And who's in the studio with us today?
Dom.
Dom Kasulki back in the studio. Dom will also be producing Inside Pirate Athletics coming up in a little bit. We will have John Gilbert on today at 5:30. So we'll get to Jim Szoke later in the week. Figure when John calls, has to be on, we'll clear the slate. So near the bottom of the hour, John Gilbert. That'll be the balance. We'll do a top 5 at 5. So with the kind of different schedule today, plus Pilk has been pressed into some ECU production duties this afternoon or this evening, we will probably get a break here pretty soon. A couple big stories out of the weekend, which I'm sure we'll touch on, but of course ECU football beating Charlotte in the homecoming game, up big after a quarter and change, up big at the half, and I wish they'd scored 60, 70, but Blake Harrell's a class act. So, but hey, win is a win. I like what they did defensively, at least against the run. I do think that there is a little cause for concern on the back end, and I did think the second half was a little sloppy. Did not watch the game live because of a call-in work obligation, and so I went back and watched, like the basketball, kind of what I deem the key parts today. So I've either been getting ready for games, calling games, or watching games the last, 72 some odd hours.
I think you've been doing that for the last 11 to 12 days.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Between all those high school volleyball state championships, not this weekend, but the weekend before, you've been slammed, Patrick. I'm surprised that your face has as much color and complexion. I thought you were coming in with bloodshot eyes or something.
No. I'm going to get my rest. Now, quick story what happened this weekend, and you may find it interesting, you may not. I called the Rose game. They were cruising to a win. Jalik Parson, who has been offered already by ECU, sophomore at Rose, coincidentally wears number 3, as friend of the show, Cornell Powell wore in high school. And if you can't make a case for them retiring 3 under Cornell, you might be able to eventually with Jalik, but I think they ought to just retire it in the name of when it's all said and done, both guys, for Cornell. Not that they do that at Rose, but they probably should. But the last receiver that's a sophomore to get over 1,000 yards in the regular season his sophomore year, who was it before Parson?
Are we talking about at Rose?
Yes, at Rose. I'm
going to go Cornell Powell.
There you go. So that tells you the company he's in. He had a punt return right before the half where the team from Triton punted to him.
Yeah.
And it was right to him because they skipped the snapback.
Oh.
And he took off. And, it was like gliding right before the half. And then he had a pass over the top from Chase Davis for a touchdown earlier in the game. So he doesn't touch it a whole lot, but when he does,
watch out.
Fireworks. They'll have a tough one this week. But during the course of the game, one of the producers for Sinclair out of Nashville sent a text that got sent to me. And so during the third quarter and fourth quarter of the game, I'm putting together a deal to go up and call a game, William and Mary at Norfolk State on Saturday.
There you go.
I originally thought it was football, and I was in a panic because I'm doing football and I'm thinking football. And I really, because if you're doing football the right way, at least in my opinion, you're getting ready all week.
Yeah.
You're not getting ready the day before. And I've had to do that this year. I had to get ready for something I was called in on in 48 hours, you could do it. But to be really, really comfortable and know the subject matter, football generally, because of the time between, it's a spaced out, get ready preparation.
Well, there's so much more that goes into a football game, too.
Well, you got potentially 3 hours to fill.
Yeah.
If not more. And, if you're doing television, especially, it's so storyline driven. And so we put together a non-student ESPN Plus production with Sinclair. They did it in 25 hours, from the green light to getting the crew, which they were great. I could actually hear the broadcast. I heard perfectly in my headphones. It's like the first time this year I've heard perfectly for anything, not just here, anywhere. It was great, and it sounded great. I don't know how it came across on the replay.
So this was basketball, though.
This was that's the upshot. It was basketball. Thank God.
Yeah.
Because you can get. So I hurried back after the Rose game because it was over early. They ran the clock, even though I don't think it hit the magic 42 number. I think the Triton people just said, go ahead and run it.
35 now this year.
Oh, is it? Okay, so that's why. All right, I didn't know that.
New rule this year, it's 35.
Okay, well, that's why it was running then.
Yeah.
Which I was happy for because we were out of there. And so I got ready. But I think Walt Pollard, who I really enjoyed getting to know and working with on the Rose games, who does a really good job. He's got really good in that setting because he cares and he knows football. And he's got a good Greenville twang, so it works perfect. And Dylan was there at the game.
Dylan Johnson was there.
Dylan Johnson was there at the game. So I got to see Dylan. We text occasionally in between these. But it was good to see Dylan. He looks good. And he will be back doing baseball on radio this year. He told me that.
Okay, good.
He signed a deal. So, but anyway, Dylan and I, chance to talk. Thankfully, he gets to go on the road the next week. Hopefully 2 weeks if Rose wins out.
Yeah.
And I don't have to. But so we slapped this together. I worked with a guy, Billy Mann, up in Tidewater. Works with our buddy Scott Jackson on the ODU broadcast. He was a character. But anyway, the point is we did all, and it just amazed Walt. He said, is this how it normally is? I said, well, yeah, sometimes. So within a few hours, because I had, during breaks, I was on the phone with people.
Yeah.
Now, you might not find this interesting. People listening might not find this interesting. But it wasn't, usually these things are set up with some lead time.
Yeah. Well, you get time to talk to both coaches and get to know your color guy and to maybe watch some film on either one of these teams.
But you
spent most of your time commuting or the little bit of sleep you got between the two events.
Yeah. And so my people that print out my stuff here did a really good job to get that to me. I don't know if I sent this to you. I put it on social. You may have seen it. You may not have. But I stopped for a bathroom break in Hertford, which, by the way, I got 94.3 up in Edenton on the way back over the air. Yeah.
Little Pirate Hoops?
Yeah, I heard the end of it on radio. I listened on the app when I left out of Norfolk. Where is this picture? Daggone it. Here it is. So I stopped in Hertford for a bathroom break, and then there was a rooster outside of the store. So that was it was kind of like the neighborhood rooster, I think, outside of this country store. I kind of like that area. It's kind of first of all, a lot of P1s for our talk station up there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I kind of like that area up there. And I like I used to go to Norfolk a lot, probably a couple times a year and do games, so it was nice to get back up there. Wish I could have stayed longer. So I just thought people might find it interesting when they bitch and moan about Patrick Johnson, because by God, you can do that about me all day. That, there's more than meets the eye going on a lot of times than what you realize.
Yeah, Patrick does have a lot going on.
Yes.
I think you need to tell your boy Michael that.
It would blow his mind. Simple minds aren't able to comprehend elaborate, grandiose things. Pilk?
I wasn't trying to go that far. I was just
I am
telling him to have a little
I'm just
sympathy
saying.
when you're busy.
I'm just saying, people who are only capable of, quite capable, but only capable of a few things don't get people that are capable of many things. And I always say this all the time, just like you folks out there. I'm just a average guy put my britches on one leg at a time like all you do. Working class hero. That's all I am, people.
But he's smarter and capable than than the rest of us, by the way.
He's pretty well, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. All right. Tongue-in-cheek.
It's been a fun opening segment. Dom's rolling his eyes going, you guys told me you were taking a break quick.
We are, and we're going to take it quick right now. We'll come back and return.
Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout Eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
We're back to the show.
I missed you. We all missed you. Did you miss him?
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
On Saturday from outside the stadium with Hoist the Colors Stephen Igo and Philip the Ref Pilkington, and they will have the show for you that day. John Gilbert, bottom of the hour here. Let's do the top 5 at 5 as we're live at Tiebreakers.
This may very well be our last mission. Let's make it count.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
It's impossible.
Now some stories you may have heard or catch it for the first time. This is your 5 at 5 with the P-Man.
By the way, I have not seen these top 5 things, so I'm going to go. I mean, I have nothing. This is just going to be off the top of my head, riffing, sports knowledge, just general knowledge.
Yeah. I didn't make it too tough today. Nothing crazy. Nothing you would have needed, I think, to do a lot of background research on. So we're good. So first two are Pirates anyway. So we'll start with Pirate football. Blake Harrell, after the game, talked about what the Pirates have to kind of worry about moving forward now that they're 6-3, bowl eligible, and tied for first place in the American Conference.
3 games left. You're sitting here, 6 wins. You're sitting here, 1 conference loss, and who knows how that thing's going to play out. And you can't worry about it or think about it. What you got to do is the Pirates got to take care of Pirates, and we got to take care of one day at a time.
So, are they in the race? Yes. Mathematically, is it likely? It's tough. It's tough, and the Hammer Hank Hinton has been sending scenarios and schedules remaining. Tulane, who right now has the tiebreaker over East Carolina because of that win last month, has Florida Atlantic this Saturday. Go to Temple, so you got to hope Temple can somehow pull that off, and then they'll play Charlotte, which will be roadkill because the Niners are going to New
Charlotte
Orleans.
has a football team?
Yeah. North Texas.
This is a cakewalk.
At UAB, at Rice, which I guess maybe that in-state stuff you can't discount, and then Temple at home to wrap up the season.
That's the easiest of everybody left.
No, it is. And this is to get to the conference championship game. That's kind of what your goal is. Everybody says, "Oh, win the conference." Yeah, but you have to. The goal is just to get to the conference championship game. South Florida's at Navy, which I don't think the weather's going to be horrendous in Annapolis this weekend. At UAB and hosting Rice. So that's pretty, outside of Navy, that's pretty easy too. And Navy's coming off a loss to Notre Dame, for what that's worth.
And Navy's still technically there. We're not talking about Navy in this thing. They're a one-loss team too.
Yeah.
The problem is they have a gauntlet. They could lose.
Well, they got South Florida at home, and then they'll have an off week, and then they will go to Memphis.
Yeah.
And then they'll have Army, which will not be a conference game.
Yeah. But their last 3 league games, starting with the game they played before Notre Dame, which was North Texas, I believe. It was somebody. They got their first conference loss because they were 5-0.
Right, yeah.
And they got beat, and it wasn't close.
So, I mean, they've got a challenging final 2 conference games. They've also got the advantage they only have 2 more conference games.
Yeah.
And they'll have an off week built in there, a couple of them actually, before they wrap up their regular season. So, obviously, the Pirates have Memphis, which is going to be challenging. I think going to UTSA is going to be challenging. And then you have Florida Atlantic on the road at the end of the year. And, I mean, it's the road, and you never know.
Yeah.
So I think you could certainly argue East Carolina's maybe not the most difficult, but it's pretty much up there. Much more difficult than North Texas and South. Who is
North Texas and Tulane.
Tulane, not South.
Yeah.
South Florida's.
South Florida's got to go to Navy, but still, I think if they survive that, Rice.
Now, I don't know all the scenarios, but basically, he's right. Coach Harrell is. You just need to win out, and you might say, well, the chaos won't happen. Well, look what happened to Louisville this weekend. Look what happened to Virginia this weekend.
Yeah.
Both lost games, particularly Louisville, at home, that they lost to Cal.
Yeah.
And it was, I think, a 3-touchdown plus favorite was Louisville in the game.
Yeah.
For what that's worth.
Funny scenario. I was texting to Nigo about this, slightly off topic, but there's a scenario where the American winner and James Madison make the college football playoff.
That'd be great.
Because if
Duke
won't
happen.
Wins the ACC
they might
after
not
what
get
just
in.
happened,
Yeah.
and in fact they lost to UConn,
right?
Don't get me started on Manny Diaz. Then Duke would not get in the college. The ACC wouldn't have a team.
And Duke still has a chance to get into the championship
If
game.
they went out, there's a good chance they're in.
Because their loss this weekend was non-conference. And I'll tell you this. The quarterback for UConn, 25 touchdowns, no interceptions this year.
You guys playing better than Matthew Stafford. Stafford's on 2.
All right, next.
Number 2.
Yeah, it was good for Pirate football, not as good for Pirate basketball in a game against Richmond, Patrick, where, it was, I don't know how much you got to hear of it, but it was tight early. Richmond kind of went on a run and made it 34-22, and then it just kind of fluctuated in that trailing by 10, trailing by 8, trailing by 12.
Well, I actually watched the run in the first half where they started off really well.
Yeah.
basketball we're talking about here, and then went on where they acted as if they had never played together or even met each other. What's concerning to me right now, and this was nothing new, I don't know where the impact is going to come from.
Yeah.
And I don't mean numbers. I don't mean score, because they, scored 92 the other night. Where does the impact? Last year you had a couple guys that you could get the ball to, and they were going to have an impact.
Yeah.
And 20 points per game so far for Jordan Riley through the first two is impactful. But it has kind of been a quiet 20 per game, if there's such a thing.
It has been, and I don't know who the number 2 behind him is.
Well, it's Gio, clearly. And he may be the number 2 behind Gio, because I think Gio, who had a monster second half.
Yeah.
Imajuru, marvelous in the second half. That's a big deal to have a guy that you could just throw it into. Now, to me, the most disappointing thing is, there's 2 areas of disappointment. One can't be helped. The other could have been helped. Obviously, I'm disappointed Jay Woodard is injured, and apparently injured to the point, it was an innocuous play. It was a turnaround in the paint. He actually looked good going up. Yeah. Didn't appear to come down funny, but within a minute he was out because he was wincing and in pain. I probably would not have run him out, but I don't know the methodology behind that. I certainly, if he was in that much pain Saturday, he would not see the court till Wilmington.
No, I agree with you.
I don't put him in this week against Elizabeth City State.
The fact that he re-injured whatever it was that quickly,
or re-aggravated.
The tough thing is going into a game like that when you're a coach, and it's concussion. Doctors can keep you out. And a young man looks you in the eyes of coach, says, "Coach,
I want to play." Yeah.
Like, it's so tough because it's like, man, this guy's going to bat for me. He's going to play through this pain, and it makes you grow so much more respect. And now, of course, I think respect has never been a problem with Jay Woodard. I mean, that guy is more bought in maybe than anybody in Pirate Athletics. So it's tough to sit there and tell a kid, no, you're not going to play. You're too hurt. And when the kid goes, how do you know how hurt I am?
Right.
And that's the tough thing.
So my other concern, and this could have been helped maybe, is the point guard position.
Yeah.
And I'm only going to – I have faith in that it takes JUCO guys till about January to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's Cy Seymour, who did it for years, who's seen it for years, and I trust Cy on basketball stories. So I do think that has a little something to do with the fact that maybe Calker can come around, but he's not shooting it well right now. And they were taking the ball away from him. That's concerning. Mbang is, I think, a great backup. Mbang's kind of always the backup that I wish ECU had over the years.
Yeah.
And I don't say that to be disparaging. He's a back. No, he's the kind of guy that's your second guard. All right, John Gilbert walked in, so let's go ahead and hit these last 3.
All right, let's go quick, guys. Here, 3.
Number 3.
All right, Panthers loose. That was ugly.
So the Giants fired their coach today after
That's number 4, Patrick.
Okay, well, but they blew the game.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to see, to me this week, how the Bears and Panthers as home favorites are going to handle things.
Yeah.
The Bears did not look good for the vast majority of that game, but they did come back. The Panthers just didn't look good at all. And credit to New Orleans taking away the running game and forcing Bryce Young to be something he is not.
Yeah.
A downfield passer of the football that makes good decisions.
Yep, that's exactly what it was. People ask me what was the difference. Well, difference was in the past Panther wins, they were able to run the football and
didn't have to rely on Bryce.
And I was thinking, they're like, Bryce made some great throws. Yeah, because you're running the ball so damn well. Well, how good's your quarterback when you're not running the football? Not very good. And you know what? The interesting thing about what you just brought up is you brought up the Bears. Well, who was good at the end of that game? Caleb Williams. You don't make that trade, you still end up with the number 1 pick. You've got Caleb Williams in your situation, and they have Bryce Young.
And they mortgaged the farm to get him.
Yep.
And he can't play. He cannot play. He's probably not the worst quarterback in the NFL.
No, he's not.
But he's in the bottom third.
No, he's in the bottom 3, much less bottom third.
If you combine everything,
yeah,
he may be the worst.
Yeah, based off ceiling. Yeah, I think Cam Ward's probably playing worse right now, but
Cam Ward's situation is screwy.
Yeah,
as screwy as the Panthers.
Yeah, no, way screwy. That Titans team is abysmal.
Yeah,
I mean,
they fired the coach.
Yeah, the only reason they've won a game is because that kid from Arizona dropped the ball on the 1 yard line.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, they literally dropped the game. All right,
next.
4-4-4.
As you mentioned, Brian Dable out. I'm a little surprised it took this long, to be honest.
Well, it tells me they've been discussed, and yesterday was the final straw, because they've had 3 spectacular blown leads.
Yeah.
And the other part of this is they're not happy. They're apparently satisfied with the personnel side of things, because the GM is staying on and helping make the coaching hire. This screams for... And by the way, they made the offensive coordinator the interim.
Yep.
It's a shame, because I think he's been the reason Jackson Dart has been so good. Now, Dart's out with the concussion protocol. If I'm Dart, I don't come back this year at all. So what I really think needs to happen here is you get a veteran offensive-minded. Is that Mike McCarthy? Is that the direction they're going to go? Because look at the teams that are winning right now in the NFL. Everybody says retread. Well, 7 wins in a row. Vrabel is a veteran guy.
Yeah.
Chargers have won, 3 or 4 in a row?
Yeah, somewhere.
Veteran guy.
Yep.
Who's coached in the league before. Won a championship.
Denver's won 7 in a row.
Veteran guy coaching.
Yeah.
This new shiny soup du jour, like you have in Miami to a degree, the only place it's really worked, if we're being honest, is L.A. with the Rams.
In San Francisco. But
San Francisco
weird
to a
situation because he was so mature beyond his years, because look who his father was.
It was a second-generation guy, Shanahan.
Yeah. So
I really do think that you'd be better served if you're New York to look. I'm not saying McCarthy. That's the type of hire I think you got to consider making here.
I think so. And like you said, you brought up the whole the recycled guys don't work. We go through the list. There's been 20 guys win Super Bowls as head coaches, and they not with the first team they ever coached.
Yeah, right.
Belichick.
True.
Don Shula. Hey, look, that's number 1 and number 2.
That's a good point.
List.
There you go.
Who could have came up with that? All right, yeah.
We're going to get John Gilbert here in just a second, but let's go ahead and get the last one in here on the top 5 at 5.
5.
The 1919 Chicago White Sox have company for cheating. 2 Cleveland Guardians pitchers, closer Emmanuel Clase and also Luis Ortiz, have been arrested for, I won't read the whole thing, for short for time, but pretty much bettors are betting on certain guys to get hits, it sounds like, and they've been
complicit.
Yeah.
They're alleged to be complicit in said bets.
Yes.
What's going on? You have this sort of happening in the NBA. You've had what's the other big betting scandal? Isn't there a third one?
There was one with a college coach a couple of years back.
But I'm talking about here recently.
Well, there was the big NBA one, and that there was also some tables that were wrong.
Okay,
there,
so maybe that's the.
I think those were kind of 2 and 1 there.
Okay,
yeah.
So even though they announced them as one, those are 2 different.
Yeah.
But the tables thing really has nothing to do with the on-field.
No, there was just guys who were former
or on-court
guys
product.
that were part of it, is what it was.
Amazing. It really is. But, I don't know the whole story and we don't have time to read the whole article here, but I'm assuming they were caught by the apps or the gambling houses.
Yeah.
Because they do have safeguards in place to catch this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's worked.
No,
it worked in that situation you brought up with the baseball coach, I think it's Cincinnati or whatever it was. It worked, obviously, to the degree at the NBA and the former Hornet player and all of that. And it worked here. I would presume that's how they got caught.
Yeah.
So the unusual amount of action put on certain things when guys were pitching, for example, probably was the first flag on it.
That's the thing is these companies, I know we got to go and make quick. The companies that are running these books, there's a reason they have the money they do. They don't have idiots working there. The people that are just, their job all day is to look for stuff like this. I mean, these are not full of morons working at DraftKings or FanDuel or whatever. It's not just some.
About ESPN finally relinquishing Bet ESPN
Yeah. I mean, I always
Thankfully.
I always thought that was kind of weird. Like, okay, the network that's covering all these games is going to have this much. Like,
it's interesting though if you think they've gotten where the ESPN has an owner. I don't think DraftKings has an ownership stake in the worldwide leader now, but they're obviously, if you're the partner, there's a lot of money changing hands there.
Yeah,
and that's probably the way you should run it.
I still don't agree with the fact that DraftKings or Caesars, whatever's partnered with the NFL. Why the hell? I mean, if you're Caesars, aren't you saying all the money's on this team? Make sure the other team.
No, because again, they like to build these big buildings, and you can't get busted for fixing the deal. They're smart people.
Goodell's the one doing it.
You're the conspiracy theorist, Pilkington. All right, I'm gonna let you and Dave for tomorrow we'll have Bill Hubbard from Healthwise Pharmacy, and we'll also have, I think, Brian Mullen. There's lots to talk about. All right, John Gilbert is going to come back with the balance of the hour on the PJ Show.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human. About creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
At Parker's Barbecue, our family has been serving your family for 3 generations.
For that, we say thank you.
Blessing families every Thursday. Kids eat free all day. That's the Parker's way.
Legendary food served from our 3 locations. Always quick, always delicious. That's the Parker's way.
At Parker's, our mission is to impact our customers through Christ-like service in a way that feeds them both physically and spiritually. That is the Parker's way.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
Back to the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back. We got a jam-packed show, so let's get started.
Deep breath. Here we go.
About 30 minutes, top of the hour. About 26 minutes from now, we'll be beginning that. Coach Harrell, it'll be great to have Caton Hauser here and also Tegan Wilk. So a action-packed show, and the folks are starting to make their way in. John Gilbert joining us here. How are you, sir?
I'm excellent. Thanks for having me.
Great to see you. Thank you for coming by and being on the program. and for once inviting yourself, not that you invited yourself, but you took advantage of the open opportunity.
Yes,
today.
Yes, I did. Lots going on. First, what an unbelievable weekend last weekend. And obviously you want to win every football game. So that certainly was kind of the icing on the cake. The Letterman that came back, I think we had since I've been here, that probably was a record number.
Oh, good.
The Hall of Fame the night before was just really good. And so, getting that many people back, having success on the field, where Blake has our football program, just a, great weekend to be a Pirate.
And finally got the Charlotte monkey off of the back.
We did, but much needed. I don't know who was tighter, but that I'm glad we won the game.
Yeah, and kind of did it in dominant fashion too. I mean, I do think in talking to Coach Harrell here and in the other venues and off the air about this, I think he didn't overemphasize the game, but he did put emphasis on the game, and I'm not so sure the last couple of years it had the proper emphasis put on it.
Yeah, and I think Blake has done a great job of doing a lot of little things that people don't see every day. One of those is when we go on the road, he typically is taking them by something significant in the city. Like, when we were in New Orleans, we went down to Jackson Square, Cafe Du Monde. The guys got some beignets. When we went to Philly, we went to see the Rocky statue and got Philly cheesesteaks. Little things like that, because I've been a part of so many teams over my career where you could be in the Bahamas, but in reality you might be in Buffalo.
Right.
And no offense to Buffalo, but you're in a gym or on a football field or in a meeting room. You really don't get to experience.
You'd be in Hawaii, you'd be in Cedar Rapids.
Yeah. So Blake's done a good job with that, but I know last week, he was really intentional on making sure the kids remembered, hey, those of you that were on the roster 2 years ago, stand up. Those of you that were here and experienced it, stand up. And so I think that going into the game, he put the right amount of attention on the game and not too much.
Homecoming overall, you kind of laid it out there, but a success as far as the fans and those that were in attendance. I mean, I'm sure you always get all kinds of feedback, but by and large, it seemed like the feedback was very, very positive.
Yeah, very positive. I was, thrilled with the crowd. Obviously, our student numbers are just. Yeah, off
got to get them
charts.
to stay past halftime. Pilkington had a rant on Igo's show today about this.
I'm not going to rant on our students. Like when you get that many to show up,
it's good.
It's a positive look. I'd love for them to be there the whole game, but I'm thankful that they're showing up in record numbers.
Well, I think with the students, it has become an event that they feel like they have to be a part of, especially with the pregame and the beginning of the game. Yeah. And that's a positive.
Well, we do so much for them pregame, with the tailgate area that that's
been a huge success, hasn't it?
Huge success. And that attracts them, and then we stop it, 30 minutes before kick, so we get them in the game.
Right.
And then by halftime, they're thinking about what the next social function is, and they're off to the next social function.
Is there a way, though, to maybe aspire to keep them?
Yeah, we actually talked about a giveaway, like a significant giveaway in the fourth quarter.
Right.
I just don't know at the end of the day how many will go. That's worth staying for.
It'd have to. Well, may I suggest? Like a gift card or cash. If you do that, they'll stay.
Well, we talked about a decent cash gift.
Okay.
The issue is, will enough people think that, man, that's really worth staying for?
$50,000.
I don't know if it'll be that much cash. But it's important. And look, our atmosphere.
Oh, it's still it's fantastic.
It is,
and that's the
second
thing.
to none.
Yeah, and that's the thing I think with the students that is a little frustrating is because they can make such a huge because they bring so much energy. It's really fantastic what they do.
No doubt.
So you got a game this week at home, and I like the timing of it. It doesn't go into post-Thanksgiving, which I know is a big thing.
Yeah.
And it's a great kick time, too.
Great opportunity. We'll be on ESPNU national TV again. And the number of games this year that we've been on national TV, I'd have to get someone to do some research. But I know our viewership numbers are significantly higher.
Some
than
40% higher, isn't it?
Yeah. Been really good. But 4 o'clock kick. We're doing specials again for the upper deck. So $12 upper deck ticket.
Okay.
You can buy a lower level non-chairback ticket for $25. And the reality is you can't go to an AAU basketball game for $25. You
can't even go to some high school basketball game.
To see 2 Division I schools, good football schools, to me, it's a good value. And I think the bigger thing for me is, ECU is playing a very meaningful game in the month of November. Mm-hmm. We win this game, and I really only want to win this game this week. I don't really care about the last 2. We'll worry about them the week of the game.
Right.
We're playing meaningful football that, you keep winning, and there's a prize at the end that you have a chance for. And so I hope that we'll have a good crowd turn out for that.
Is that particularly satisfying for you that when one of the goals, at minimum, is competing and hopefully winning conference championships?
Yeah, absolutely. I look at it, too, for me, when you look at our program and you look at expectations, like, to me, the floor of expectations is bowl games. Mm-hmm. And if you look at where we've been, I think 4 out of the last 6 years we've been in a bowl game.
Sure.
That doesn't happen very often around here. So I do feel really good about that. And obviously I want to put ourselves in position to play for a conference championship. That may or may not happen this year, depending on how we finish. But what does give me a lot of excitement is you look at the AAC standings, and we're
right there.
We're right there.
Yeah. A few things have to happen. We just kind of outlined the paths, but all you have to really do is win, take care of what you can take care of at this point.
We just worry about ourselves. Yeah. Blake's really good about, hey, it's all on us. We're not worried about anybody else. We got to control what we can control.
So the special upper deck, $12, non-chairbacks in the lower bowl, $25. Any other things surrounding the game that'll be taking place?
Well, we got the band. Another band coming. I can't remember what band we're having, but we'll put out a From the Helm next day or so to.
And that's in the tailgate area.
In the tailgate plaza area, and that has been very well received.
I was going to say that has been a huge success this year.
It really has. I really want that area to evolve. We're actually going to. Hopefully by the spring, with all the approvals, we're going to build a permanent kind of wind sail shade covering where we can use it year-round. I fully expect to rent it out for events, parties, and then we'll use it for functions, weather permitting during basketball. You definitely could use it for, baseball and some of your spring sports, having events out there before the game. So I'm really pleased with the way that area turned out.
And it is the final home game of senior day, so there's that aspect to it. And really, the weather, it's frigid now and going to be cold tomorrow. It's going to improve. It'll be very fall-like comfortable for Eastern North Carolina this weekend. So that's great.
I think I looked, and it was high as 72 on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
So
the weather this past weekend was perfect.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I think this Saturday it's going to be really pleasant at kickoff, and maybe by the second half you might need a light jacket, but nothing too crazy.
We have a few minutes. Could you can hang with us here because we're going to take it up to a certain point and then allow a set change.
Do we need
before
a
the
break?
show? No, we're not. We're doubling up on breaks at the end.
Oh, okay.
So we're just awkwardly transitioning to some other topics.
Yeah.
So, I had the Chancellor on when we did our show from the basketball game.
Yep.
And he, of course, is he's a very active fan, but also participant in athletics for the university, but also for the conference. So I just didn't know. Wanted you to maybe speak to that, because we only scratched the surface of things we could have talked about with Chancellor Rogers.
He is the chair of the American Conference President's cabinet.
Right.
So he really is dealing with our commissioner on a consistent basis. And then he also represents the American on the Division I Athletic Council.
Right.
So he gets a seat at the table for the larger discussions. And it's really good because obviously we have a good understanding of what's coming, where other people are, what they're thinking about the direction of college athletics. So it's beneficial for ECU to have a seat at that table.
You said something when we talked to you in the spring and my antenna went off, and you were like scheduling games out, because everybody always asks you about the schedule, and you were talking about 20, 30 something, and be like, somebody else will be the AD then. And I thought, okay, I don't like that John's saying this, but about a year left on your current deal, I guess. Is that
yes. Well, starting December 1 or 2, I'll have 1 year after that. So
where does that stand right? Is it something you're interested in continuing on with?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Like, Katie and I love
good.
living
My
in
heart
Greenville.
just returned from being in my throat. So that's good. I like that.
No, Katie and I love living here. It's we really enjoy Greenville and Eastern North Carolina, and I'm really happy here. We have our challenges like every place, but there are so many benefits and positives to being at ECU. And
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I figured,
it's also great. Like, I work for a great chancellor. Like he's awesome.
Good man.
I do really feel like it's a partnership. I do think he and I have great alignment where
not everywhere it does.
They do not. And actually, I've been at places where at times there's not an alignment, and it is almost impossible for athletics to be successful. So when you look in the college landscape, and I don't care the school, and you go, man, that school really has it going on, I tell you, then there's probably a pretty good alignment between athletics and the university. I've said it 100 times. We're not the most important thing, but we are the most visible. And when you have alignment, you can get a lot of things done.
The place where it seems to me in the conference right now that really has that, maybe Tulane to a degree, but South Florida seems to have that. Word is they've spent a considerable amount on their football roster. They're also building a stadium on campus, which they believe will be a real game changer, because they want a student environment like we have here. I mean, when I was there in the spring, that's what they were talking about.
Yeah, I think you see a few schools in our league that understand, hey, we're gonna really invest in athletics because it can propel us in so many different areas. I think we're one of those schools. Like the chancellor is, he wants a successful athletic program, and it's great to have the alignment.
Well, it does take money, and Florida is able to kick in state and university dollars into their athletics. That's prohibited by law here in North Carolina. So when you talk about challenges, I got to think Purple and Gold Society, always pushing that, is something that needs to be done. And then also being able to just monetarily compete at the level and the reality we're in now.
Yeah. I would say, look, at the end of the day, here pretty soon, Coach Harrell is going to have to he's going to have to put together a roster pretty quickly, and those players that we want to retain, we're going to have start having conversations with them here pretty quickly. So people that are willing to invest in the Purple and Gold Society, that society allows us to shift other operating funds to revenue share.
Right.
Ticket sales, multimedia rights agreement, all those things. We still have bills to pay. But that Purple and Gold Society really can help us offset our operating budget, where we shift more money to, I'm going to call it player retention and acquisition.
Yeah.
And we're 6-3. We've got some football to play. We've got some really good players on this roster that we want to make sure we're able to retain.
Yeah. All right. Football scheduling.
Yes. A lot of transition with football scheduling. It's probably been a month ago. The ACC announced that they're going to 9 conference games, still working through that. I was notified, Wake Forest is going to drop us in 27.
Okay.
And so there's a home and home with Wake Forest in 27 and 28. The way the contract works is they had to give notification on the 27 game. Now, we're going to get a buyout from that, so it will be still financially attractive. The next year, we're supposed to go to Wake Forest. Well, we need an away game. We're going to keep the game on the road. And, again, makes sense for us to keep that game. We get to play an ACC opponent.
And they like it because they're going to sell some tickets.
And we still, like, what most people don't understand is, depending on the team, when you play a home and home game, we still exchange a little bit of money to help us cover our expenses. So it could be a couple $100,000
still.
So we can go to Winston-Salem and back for a lot less than that.
Right.
So it still will be a net positive game for us, but we're going to be looking for a game in 27. And in the football scheduling world, that is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like literally tomorrow. So I don't know where we will end up with that game, but I've been working the phones since they notified us on that. So we're going to need a FBS type game in that window.
So you had 3 non-conference already on the books.
Yep,
One was going to be an FCS.
Yeah, that is it Western Carolina?
If it is, it's not on the website, but it's for 27, Wake Forest, which would have been 9-11.
Yep.
Now dropped, as you just reported here. At Northwestern.
That's a bye game, so we'll get money.
And then Georgia State. We got to get ready to go here, but refresh me. Is that was that a previous contract with Georgia State series, or did you?
Yeah, no, we extended that.
Okay.
We had Georgia State on the books, and that game was pushed.
Right, okay. So could that end up being another go-buy scenario somewhere?
The problem with the bye game, I am all for going and playing a game like that. We've got one on the books with Northwestern. The issue is with the SEC going to 9 games, and that's how we got the Alabama game for next year. They had to shift some games around, so we were able to get the Alabama game. The SEC's going to 9, so they're dropping all of these opponents.
Right.
And now the ACC announced the same thing. So when you start looking at the people that are willing to write checks, that number has shrunk.
Yeah.
So those games are going to be harder and harder.
We got a couple. We'll get you back on soon, but thank you, John. Really appreciate
look forward to it.
John Gilbert with us here. Stay tuned. Inside Pirate Athletics next.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color and let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville, we've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
It's Greenville Toyota's model year-end move-out. Save on a new Corolla, just $149 a month. $149 a month. Or new Tacoma, $249 a month. $249 a month. Now get a move on and save at Greenville Toyota.